Olha eu aqui de novo com mais uma entrevista maravilhosa pra vocês. 13 Reasons Why, ou Os 13 Porquês, pode ter acabado, mas a nossa eterna Hannah continua viva e maravilhosa. A atriz Katherine Langford é a estrela de uma nova série da Netflix, chamada Curse, a Lenda do Lago. Basicamente, ela é baseada naquelas grandes histórias da época do Rei Arthur. Lembra? Todo mundo já ouviu falar da Lenda do Rei Arthur. Pois é, dessa vez a Katherine faz a Nimue, que tem a grande missão que a mãe dela deixou de entregar para o mago Merlin, que é interpretado pelo Gustaf Skarsgård, a grande espada Excalibur. Dá só uma olhada como foi o papo que a nossa equipe, aliás, a minha equipe maravilhosa, bateu com esses atores. Teve até recadinho pro Brasil, hein, gente? Ai, vem logo pro Brasil, please come to Brazil, please come to Brazil, Katherine, Gustaf, Excalibur. Assiste aí.
The legend says this sword belongs to the one true king. But what if the sword chooses a queen?
Hey guys.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you guys.
Likewise.
So, I was really surprised by it because it was not what I was expecting. Because originally, the story portrays Arthur's battles to unify England. And this time we see a different perspective. We see lots of issues about the environment and also diversity and most important, oppression against different cultures. How do you think the series can relate to social and political topics right now?
Well, in exactly the ways that you mentioned, those are themes that are really prevalent in the show. So I think apart from the fact that it might give a very welcome escape from the present situation in terms of being a fantasy show, but it also raises all these questions.
So the series portrays the Arthurian legends in a totally new way. It's very different, starting by the chronology and also the connection between the characters. For example, Arthur is not Uther's son, as we're used to see. How much did you invest? How much time did you invest studying the myths and the tales? And how was it for you to prepare for this process?
Playing Nimue, I think, was quite a unique experience in the sense that usually when we think about the Arthurian legend, we know about King Arthur and Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table, but we very seldom see any of the female characters or delve into them. And I think in a way that was kind of a blessing. I was going to say a blessing or a curse. No, but it was, a blessing in a way because it really gave this clean slate. And I think that's also what makes this show special is that, one of the most powerful and prolific characters in the Arthurian legends, the Lady of the Lake, that we know virtually nothing about. Suddenly we get to see this story and see her story. And also in line with that, all of the other characters and a lot of their history that we haven't seen before either.
Oh, and Curse tells the narrative, as you said, of this young lady who has great power in her hands. And since childhood, she faces a lot of big battles and even judgment from her own community. What does Nimue's story can relate to real woman?
Well, Nimue's journey, I think within this, like you said, when we first see her, she is very restless. She's outcast and quite isolated from the rest of the people in the series. And, in many ways throughout the series and her journey is very much about coming into her own, not just, embracing herself, embracing her powers, but also coming into her own as a woman. And I think that journey and that feeling of restlessness, or that feeling of wanting to know what your purpose is or where you fit in, I think that's something that applies to everyone, regardless of gender or age or even time in your life. We all have that feeling of kind of wanting to discover or having this thing inside us, which we haven't figured out yet.
Yeah. And now to Merlin. I love your character. He has this anti-hero kind of vibe going on, I feel like. He lost his magical powers and he's consistently drunk, but luckily he's very, very smart.
Yes.
I feel like he has every single character in the palm of his hands. He can
Yeah.
manipulate even the king and death.
Yeah.
So do you feel like he has more of a human side than a supernatural one?
Yeah, I definitely like all of the above applies. He's very highly intelligent, highly manipulative, and it's such a an amazing character to play. It's so much fun and challenging to reach that level of intelligence and the way that he uses his language and manipulates his surrounding. But it's also great because then all of a sudden, something changes, and all of a sudden he can't really manipulate his surrounding anymore, and all of a sudden the stakes are higher. So that's the journey that he is on, and it was really fun to explore that.
Cool. And Cursed has a multicultural cast. So we have Australians, we have Brits, Americans, Swedish people too. So the movie industry allows this integration between nations. In a moment like this, with a pandemic crisis right now, this example adds up to the need of unity in the real world. How was the relationship and the exchange that you guys had in the behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think it was a good example of unity. It was never an issue that we were from different countries or different ethnicities or anything. We were just there, we were hired because we were entrusted to do play these characters, and we all did the best we could, and the camaraderie was great. So it was like I never even reflected upon that.
Awesome. So just to wrap up, Katherine, I need to say congratulations also on 13 Reasons Why. It was a big hit here in Brazil too.
Oh,
and I just wanted to leave a space for you guys to say something to your Brazilian fans.
You go.
I wish I could speak in the language, but I just want to say hello and sending lots of love from Sweden. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and I really hope I get to come and visit soon.
Muito obrigado.
Oh, great.
I knew that one.
Hey!
Awesome. Thank
pouco.
you guys so much. You speak Portuguese?
Pouco.
Awesome.
That's it. That's all I can say.
That's it.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, and also save the rainforest.
Yes, important message.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Ah, fofinhos, né? Pois é, esse foi o nosso papo com os grandes protagonistas de Cursed, A Lenda do Lago, que estreia agora, dia 17 de julho, na Netflix. Assiste aí, porque agora não falta série pra você maratonar, hein? Depois você me conta o que você achou. Um beijo e cuida bem da sua Excalibur, hein? Cada um com a sua espada.
This is our only chance at survival.